Welcome to this edition of the Ultimate Combat Experience. I'm Mike Stedham, joined by the greasy biker, Todd Reed. Todd, what made you guys come in and sponsor the Ultimate Combat Experience? By that, I mean thegreasybiker.com has come in and sponsored the Ultimate Combat. What made you want to get into this stuff?
Well, you know what? I ride my bike out here every week to watch these guys with you. We have a great time. A lot of these guys have bikes. Greasy biker and fighting hand in hand. So we love to be a sponsor for you guys.
Good stuff. And they've got some really awesome stuff. You want to check them out, go online. But tonight, my goodness, we got an amazing card. Oliver Bradstreet and Nate Gerrard, a couple of guys that are super, super awesome wrestlers. Both of them are state champions. Both of them are multiple-time state champions. And this is going to be one heck of a barn burner. But you want to stick around for your main event. Sawyer and Trevor Collett, a couple of big guys, man. They're going to bang it out.
Yeah, we got a couple ladies coming out this evening, too. This should be interesting to see.
Oh, well, strap yourselves in. It's the Ultimate Combat Experience coming right at you. All right, we got a couple guys we've seen before. Mario Ortega making his way to the cage first. And, you know, we saw him a couple of weeks ago, and we mentioned at the time, you know, he's a really, really nice kid, just not that tough, you know, and his technique is getting better. He just doesn't have that oomph behind his punches, and you know, again, you got to kind of have that. You got to have that fighter spirit going up against kid here now. That I really think this kid has a bright future, Gabe Butler.
You know, he's going to have a hard time against Gabe Butler. His skills are a lot more sharpened, and he's a really tough guy. Ortega, I mean, he's got heart, but he does not have the game that Butler has.
Both these guys training at my gym, and it's always an interesting dynamic. You know, we kind of have a community center, if you will. If you don't have a gym to train at, we'd let you come train there to get ready for a fight. And you see these guys; they know they're going to fight each other this weekend, and they you know, kind of look at each other from across the room and size each other up. And I'll tell you, Mario looks really good on a bag. He's got great technique, and he looks pretty tough on a bag. So Gabe was a little worried coming into this fight, and I think I told him, I said, I don't really think you have a whole lot to worry about.
Yeah, Butler's making quick work of Ortega right here. You know, two strong kids, but Butler is a lot more conditioned, and he's got more game.
Yeah, you know, Butler's fairly new at this as well. But you saw right there when he got the takedown, he was wise enough to pass guard. Now he's got full mount position, and you know he's been playing a very patient game thus far in this fight. Now he finds himself in a really good spot where he's got his opponent pinned up against the cage in full mount. It's going to be a very tough go here for Mario Ortega.
Yeah, with that flurry of punches coming at him right here, that's got to be exhausting too.
The only problem we have here for Mario is that Lonnie Foster's your referee, and Lonnie likes to see people get punched, so he's not going to step in and stop this thing too soon. He's going to make you tap if you want to get out of there. Looks like Mario giving up his back and Gabe Butler capitalizing, trying to sink a choke in there. Didn't quite hold his position as well as he should have. Should have kept his hooks in. As a result, he's come off to the side here, and Mario's going to come around on top, and this could be a little bit of an interesting turn of events for Mario Ortega.
Yeah, that was a nice move by Mario there. Butler doing a great job fending him off. Kind
of tying him up there. You see what I was kind of talking about earlier. Mario, he's got the technique. He just doesn't have any oomph at the end of those punches. There's nothing that's really going to hurt you. You know, he's doing the right things. He's not doing it with any stank on the end of those punches, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, Butler just needs to hang back and let Ortega gas himself out.
That's probably what's going to happen here. He's working on, looks like a choke. He's trying to get that shoulder choke, get that arm over, and he'll have a nice little choke to put on there. But Mario's not cooperating. I think he's savvy to that as well. Mario continues to pound away, you know, and look, to the indoctrinated judge, which we have quite often. You see Mario, it looks like he's scoring here. He's throwing a lot of punches. He's staying busy on top. So this could be something that, you know, in the judge's scorecard could be very problematic for Gabe Butler as this fight wears on. And now look at Mario Ortega getting it back and look at trying to sink a choke in there. Not quite there. Looks like both these guys are kind of sucking pond water, as you will. He's got their mouths open. They're a little bit tired, but Gabe Butler seems a little motivated. He didn't really like getting pounded on the side of his head for too long there.
Well, when in doubt, punch it out. These guys go to the feet.
What was that about greasy being easy? And
yeah, when you're living greasy, or
life is easy.
Life is easy when you keep it greasy.
Oh, and when in doubt, punch it out. You got a lot of great one-liners here today. All right, that's going to bring to a conclusion round number 1. Lonnie Foster steps in and says, look, guys, go back to your corners. You're going to come back and do it again. We'll come back with round number 2. Welcome back to the Ultimate Combat Experience. If you're just joining us, you missed round number 1 of 3 scheduled rounds between Mario Ortega and Gabe Butler, and kind of a topsy-turvy round. Went a little bit for Mario, a little bit for Gabe, and now coming out in the second round here, Mario giving up his back. Not a very good thing. Whoa, buddy, it looks like that choke's on too. Mario's head looks like a tomato.
Yeah, he's got it dug in there.
Yeah, he sure does. Mario pounding away, and look, man, stop punching. Those punches turned into taps. I was about to tell him, stop punching and start defending that choke, because it's going to be hard to punch with no blood going to your brain. And just a little too late for that advice. Mario Ortega tapping out in round number 2. Came out, gave a pretty valiant show, though. I was pretty impressed with him. Gabe Butler feels pretty good about it. He had to work for it, though. Getting a big second round victory by tap out from rear naked choke. All right, let's move right into our second bout of the evening. Mike Risher and Cory Rasmussen. Cory Rasmussen, a security guard, wears his uniform to the fights every time. It's got everybody else sketched out in the back. We didn't think the Fuzz is back there, but he's just a security guard. He's all right. He's not very happy about being here, though. Maybe he's thinking about donuts.
Yeah, he doesn't look too enthused, does he? I wonder if he's rethinking this.
He sure doesn't. There's old Mike Risher. Mike Risher, kind of a newcomer to the game here. He's been training at my gym just for a couple months now. He met one of the girls that works at my front desk there, and she kind of lured him in. And so she was like a Venus flytrap, lured him in and talked him into believing he's a fighter. So now here he is.
Mike's a big kid. This should be interesting to see how Cory stands up against him.
Well, so far he's not standing up. He's ducking his head a lot. And that could be real problematic. Nice knee by Rasmussen, though. If Risher would have thrown that, it probably would have been into the fight. Risher doing a good job looking for position. Cory Rasmussen doing a great job of pulling guard, not letting Risher get too close to him. And wow, just Risher stands up and lets his opponent up. I was kind of surprised by that because he's got long arms. He could have punched through that guard.
Yeah, Rasmussen coming in with a couple nice kicks, but he ducks that head right down. And
he's eating some uppercuts as a result. And now he's returning some. Nice job. Both guys, actually, I'm doing a lot better than I thought they would. Both of them, they're coming out and they're very accurate with their punches. Not a lot of defense from either guy, but their offense looks pretty clean, relatively speaking. And they're landing quite a few shots.
Yeah, Rasmussen doing a great job with the knees and leg kicks.
Yeah, good work back and forth. Neither guy really taking control of the fight. So far, it's kind of been one guy goes for a minute, then the other guy goes for a minute. Right now, it's Risher's turn to go for a minute. Rasmussen doing a decent job of making his head elusive, but right there, a big knee landed, and that may be the beginning of the end.
I think we've seen the end of this.
Yeah, we sure have, man. Risher more than happy to continue to punch and knee. And Dave Selyestead, your referee, steps in and says, all right, enough of that. You know, and it's unfortunate, I think, because this had the makings of a pretty good fight. That one knee really turned things around, and Mike Risher getting his hand raised, getting a big win tonight over Cory Rasmussen. We're going to head to commercial after this. When we come back, you want to stick around. Samson Lee and Valpando. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Ultimate Combat Experience. You're looking at it right there. Valpando doing the herky-jerky shake right before fighting Samson Lee. This guy's He's a funny character, man. He's all about the Zen, man.
Yeah, that was really nice. Great technique there.
Yeah. Going up against a kid that is not so much Zen as he is in kicking your ass, Samson Lee. He's been training over in my Muay Thai class for quite some time. And, we have a hard time finding fights for him because he's so little. But, we got a guy that's just a little bit bigger than him. But the guy's got one hell of a farmer's tan, doesn't he?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Samson Lee, he's a quick kid. Great kicks.
He's got amazing Muay Thai. He's got good stand-up. As we mentioned last time, we got caught with a right hand there, though. Just rocked him back on his heels, and he says, you know what? This thing ain't working out so well for me. Puts that tight clinch on, throwing some knees, but he got rocked a minute ago.
A couple nice rights by Lee.
Yeah, that was a nice little right-left combination. Missing with the knee altogether, man. Samson's not really on his game tonight. This is not the Samson Lee that I know. He's usually one of the most accurate strikers I've seen, and he's missed big time on a number of shots here so far. He's winding up trying too hard.
Yeah, but he's throwing them left and right.
I'll tell you what it is. There's probably some girl in the audience he's interested in because maybe his focus isn't quite 100% where it needs to be. Oh, Valpando, he just wants to do that dance, man. He's not interested in fighting, man. He wants to do the dance off. It's, again, a big miss by Samson Lee. And look, a lot of times you get a guy that's kind of unorthodox and it'll take you out of your game a little bit, takes your timing off. And right now it's just Samson is just teeing off on this kid. And Lonnie Foster's, he's seen enough. Lonnie was going to let him do it for a while there as long as Rand was on his feet. But if Lonnie's seen enough, you're getting your ass kicked. That's all there is to it. Samson Lee getting a win here by knockout. I guess they're going to call it a TKO. Lonnie's trying not to laugh. He was getting a kick out of this fight. Samson, he's feeling good about things. I don't know that he should because that was not quite the beautiful work of art that we've seen him do, but gets a big win nonetheless. All right, coming up next, we got a couple of ladies. And Andrea Miller, she is one tough cookie. Both these girls trained at my gym. Both have trained at my gym for quite some time. They've trained together, but they've always kind of known that because of their stature, they're both like 110 pounds. They both have always known that they're going to meet inside the cage at some point. They decided to make it a Muay Thai match tonight. They're going to fight a kickboxing match. Both of these ladies have very, very clean technique. Andrea Miller's probably slightly tougher, whereas Amber McHenry is a little bit more refined. She has a little better technique. So toughness versus technique is what we're looking at here.
Yeah, both these girls are tough. I mean, you got to give it up to them to come step into the octagon for 3 rounds.
Both are mothers in their 30s. Both, they're single women. And they spend their free time at the gym. And you can see right here, they both have pretty nice technique. Neither one is throwing anything sloppy. They both throw straight punches. They both have good head movement, good decent footwork. It's really fun to watch girls that really know what they're doing.
I'll tell you what, they can both punch too.
Yeah.
You best be on your best behavior if you're taking one of these ladies out.
Oh, I tell you what, man, I guarantee you that. And neither one of these girls take any crap from guys either. There's a reason they're single. It's not because they're not attractive women. It's because they just don't take any crap from anybody. And you look right here, it's kind of fun to watch. They get in here and not taking crap from each other either. There you go. There's that side kick that Amber is so famous for. She's really good at that. She throws that side kick to the body, then she'll come up over the top to the head. And she's been pretty successful with it thus far. Well, I tell you what, that Andrea Miller she has one gear, and that's 5th gear. She comes forward all the time, to her detriment sometimes. She's walked into that side kick a couple of times, but I tell you, it's you kick her with a nice side kick like that, and you see her still coming forward. That's got to be a little bit spooky for you.
Both of these ladies are amazingly accurate with their punches. I mean, they're just zoned in there.
Yeah, they've got these big 16-ounces on. I wish we would have gone with a little smaller glove because you'd see a little better action, I think, but these guys, I think it was the Athletic Commission wanted them to wear these 16-ounces, and maybe they'll rethink that if they ever get back in here and do it again. I really like how Amber uses that front hand for defense. She parries that jab off nicely. I'd like to see her come off that parry with a counter punch or kick. She's doing a lot of nice blocking, but not a lot of counter punching.
No, and they're trading. This is going back and forth.
Yeah,
this is going to be a hard round to
this
judge.
is very, very difficult to judge. It looks like Andrea Miller came up limp after that first round. She's limping back to her corner. I'm not sure if she's hurt. We'll find out when we come back. Round number 2. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Ultimate Combat Experience. Do not adjust your set. Those are big gloves on those girls' hands. We've got the kickboxing match going on between Andrea Miller and Amber McHenry. A couple ladies that really know how to throw down. And we just finished up round number 1, which, as we mentioned going to the break, that it was one of those rounds that's going to be very, very difficult to score. And it looks like we got another one kind of heading in that same direction.
Yeah, and both these ladies throwing a flurry of punches and kicks. I mean, it's pretty much even. They're working from the top and the bottom.
That's what makes it hard, is when there's continuous action. It's hard to score. That was not a knockdown. That was a slip there. Oh, it looks like Dave is calling it a knockdown. Maybe. I don't know.
It looked like a slip to me.
Yeah, that was definitely a slip. I'm not sure what. Dave's not. Well, there you go. There's another slip, and I don't know if we've got some substance in the cage here that's causing them to slip. But neither one of these girls, they're usually pretty sure-footed. It's kind of a strange little series of events there.
You know, and the conditioning in both these ladies is great. You know, the first round, they both went really hard. Neither one of them seemed gassed in this round. They're both going for it. They seem fine. Legs look strong.
Yeah, you know, I'll tell you what, that's a great point, Todd, because you don't see a lot of people fight with this much intensity and keep it up for any length of time, certainly, especially not in this show. And these girls have shown that both of them have really good conditioning. I'm really curious why both of them keep slipping, though. That really seems strange to me. I'm not sure if maybe that decal has got some, you know, it's kind of the substance it's made of is extra slippery or what it is, but both these ladies have had a difficult time with their footing. Things are slowing down just a little bit between these two, Andrea Miller and Amber McHenry. Looks like the tank's starting to wear down just a little bit, but you know, not drastically so. They're both still staying very competitive. It's gonna, there you go. That's the end of round number 2. It's gonna really come down to this third round. Who's got more in the tank? Because I think, you know, both of them have really poured it out there. It's going to be very interesting to see. I don't know, again, if Dave Sawyer called that first slip a knockdown. If it did, that's going to be a very huge factor in the scoring of this fight, because that's a huge point to try to overcome. That also a slip, and I'm not sure if Dave's going to call that a knockdown or not. See, now Dave, oh, he is calling that a knockdown. You know, it's unfortunate we have referees that don't understand kickboxing that well.
Yeah, one of the nice things about this stand-up here with the Muay Thai, they're not able just to grab a hold of each other and lay on the ground and rest it out. They've got to keep moving.
It is way more fatiguing with that being the case. It's very much more difficult to continue to step on the gas all the way throughout a 9-minute fight. Whereas, you know, in MMA, you mentioned you could take somebody down and really get a breather on the ground. Whether you're the guy on top or bottom, you get an opportunity to kind of get your wind back. These ladies don't have that opportunity. It's got to be continuous throughout.
And they both look like they're ready to go to the distance. They're both amazing punches.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, you know, both ladies, looks like, have had a knockdown scored against them. So that's going to be pivotal here as we move into what looks like we're going to have to go to the judges' scorecard, and it'll be interesting to see how this one is scored. We've got just about a minute left in the fight, and somebody if they really want to win this fight, do something now. Now's the time. Now's the time to suck it up and win this thing. It looks like Andrea Miller's at somebody until Amber said, all right, I've had enough of that. Well, I tell you what, man, Amber is the more dynamic fighter for sure. She has a lot more in her toolbox, but Andrea Miller is just that workhorse that just keeps coming at you.
Yeah, Andrea landing most of her shots. This round looks like it's going to her. She's doing a great job with her jabs and cross there.
for the first time, we see her backing up a little bit. You know, I mean, for most of the first and second round, she was coming forward the entire time, and Amber had her backing up just a little bit there toward the end. Amber shaking her head. It seems like she doesn't think she's won this fight. She doesn't feel super happy with her performance. Andrea Miller, on the other hand, she looks a little more confident. And, you know, I got to tell you, there's no better gauge than that for the fighter that feels like they won the fight from being in it. And Andrea Miller getting a big win here. She feels very good about that. That's a tough girl she just beat as well. She should feel very good for that. Yeah, it's interesting. Everybody in the ring there, they all are training at my gym. They're all trainers at my gym. So everybody, you know, congratulating one another. Welcome back to the Ultimate Combat Experience. There's a guy that really needs no introduction if you watch this show for any length of time. Oliver Bradstreet, the menace. This kid is a menace, and he's one tough cookie, man. He's an amazing wrestler. Won the state championship a couple of times over there at Taylorsville High School. He's turning into a pretty good fighter as well. But Nate Gerrard, he's from out in Vernal, wrestled at Uinta. I think he's a 3-time state wrestling champion. This kid is the real deal. I'm telling you what, he moved from Vernal into Salt Lake City to train at my gym, and he has been amazing to have around the gym. He's just got an amazing work ethic. He goes hard, he goes strong, he brings it every time, whether he's practicing or he's fighting. This should be, looks like it should be like a couple of tornadoes touching down at the same time.
Yeah, and both these guys are so well-rounded with their fighting. It's going to be great.
Oliver Bradstreet trying a head kick, and that's not the thing to do to Nate Gerrard. Nate Gerrard hooked that foot and just dumped him on his back. And Oliver Bradstreet's a hard guy to take down, and as you can see, he's a very hard guy to keep down. But who's up to the task? Nate Gerrard is.
Yeah, 2 strong kids. This is gonna be an awesome fight.
Oh, this is fun. I'm excited to be calling the action on this. The only thing I'm not excited about, it's gonna be hard action to call. These guys are both very technical, and you know, just the positioning battle that's going on right now, it's very, very technical, and it's hard to really explain. A lot of times you'll see 2 guys against the cage like that, and they're tussling back and forth, and it's just instinctive. These guys have been doing this for a long, long time. Look at Oliver Bradstreet, very sneaky, getting that leg through to pull guard. That was a very nice job. Nate Gerrard doing a great job of keeping him pinned up against the cage. Again, this is a little chess match that's being played inside here, and you know, this is going to be a fun fight as it goes on. One thing about these white guys, they bruise easy, and you can see where one kick landed on the side of Nate Gerrard. That was a nice kick to start start the fight off with, but haven't seen much from Oliver Bradstreet since then. He's not come out with a whole lot in terms of offense. Ollie trying to sneak in a choke there, and that's not going to happen. No, Nate Gerrard not allowing that to happen, doing a nice job of lifting him and turning, now getting into a half guard side. It looks like he's got a half guard, yeah.
Yeah, one of the things about having 2 guys like this that are matched up so well, I mean, it is a chess match.
Yeah, you know, it really is. And normally I don't like fights that kind of wind up on the ground and they're jockeying for position. But with these 2 guys, they're so technically sound that it is kind of fun to watch the chess match that's going on under there. He's got that guard, but now he's trying to go into some offense. He's got to get out from underneath. Right now he can't continue to stay underneath Nate Gerrard. Nate's just too strong. And if you're going to trade punches like that, you're going to lose when you're on the bottom. Nate Gerrard, I'd like to see him try to pass the guard of Oliver Bradstreet. He seems very comfortable just kind of camping out in Ollie's guard, and you know, every now and then he comes out to side control, but he's not doing much when he gets there. And I tell you, the referee's going to grow wary of that and ultimately stand you up if you don't try. No, there he's come out to side control. Do something with it though. Don't just hang on. You got to turn on the offense a little bit.
And Bradstreet's been doing a pretty good job at bending him up there.
Yeah, you know, he has. He's fought a pretty good defensive fight from underneath, but he's got to get out from underneath. Looks like Dave Sully said, is that the end of the round, or is he standing him up? Looks like that's the end of the round. So round number 1 in the books. Round number 2 coming right up. These guys are going to go back and retool a little bit. Let's see if Oliver Bradstreet is able to keep on his feet this time. I really like how they touched the gloves. They did a little apprehensively so. They didn't want to come out and open themselves up to somebody just, oh, look at that. Look how slick Nate Gerrard is. This is a 2-time state wrestling champion that's been taken down within seconds of both rounds number 1 and 2. Oliver Bradstreet looking to try to get a knee bar on. Not able to get it. Nate Gerrard holding position. He's up on top.
Yeah, both these guys great athletes. They both have a lot of respect for the sport and each other. It's nice to see them come out like that and, touch gloves, show some good sportsmanship.
No, I agree. Absolutely. Nate Gerrard's knee is in kind of a precarious position right here. You can tell he's not super comfortable with it. It's wrapped around Oliver Bradstreet's leg. Ollie could still, if he let go of the head, he could still pursue some type of leg lock or something, but it doesn't look like he's wanting to do that. I'm not sure why he's holding on to the head here. Ollie trying to throw knees from underneath. And you can throw those, but there's not going to be a whole lot on that. That was a good idea, but I just don't think it worked out the way Ollie had hoped it would. Nate's going to have a hard time stepping on the gas here just because of the precarious spot that his knee is in, unless he's able to slip it all the way through. He's still kind of trapped in there. Yep. Now he's trying to put pressure on Ollie's knee.
Well, they're pretzeled up there. That looks like an uncomfortable position.
Yeah, it can be. And Ollie's still wanting to throw those knees to the body. They're doing some damage. I mean, I don't hate the idea, but I would really rather see him try to get out. There you go. Figure for that leg and then try to crank it over a little bit. So what he wants to do is roll Nate to his left and come around on top. But, I just don't. Nate's got such good balance and good just hip control and body positioning that I don't see that happening. If Ollie can crank that foot down and then roll him to his left, he could come around on top and find himself in the top position for the first time in this fight. Nate Gerrard in a good spot there to kind of posture up and land those elbows across the face of Oliver Bradstreet. He's done a little bit of that, and Ollie wisely holding him in tight so he can't do that. That's really the battle that's going on right now. Ollie thinks these knees are what's going to happen for him. You're not going to score in a lot of judges' minds when you're on the bottom, especially if your top guy is striking back. I just don't see those knees doing a ton of damage.
No, he's almost exerting too much energy of his own, just wasting that there.
In Ollie's defense, he doesn't really ever seem to get tired. So, exerting energy for the average guy might be one thing. I've never seen Ollie get tired. He's in such great shape that he can do stupid things like that and not wear down. All right, so that's going to bring to a conclusion round number 2. Once again, I think Nate Gerrard is in the driver's seat. It's not something that Oliver Bradstreet is used to seeing. He's usually commanding respect from his opponent. We got round number 3 when we come back. Welcome back to the Ultimate Combat Experience. If you're just joining us, man, Oliver Bradstreet has got his hands full against newcomer Nate Gerrard in what has been an amazing display of just grit and toughness and outstanding wrestling by Nate Gerrard. A nice takedown there, but Oliver Bradstreet's got a guillotine choke in. He's trying to finish this fight right here. Can he do it? He's got that thing in deep enough.
That looks very uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable, but I don't. Oh, there you go. You just lost it. It just seemed like Nate Gerrard he knew it was there, and he positioned himself to where it just wasn't going to do much damage. Now he's able to pass. Well, it looks like he's almost a pass guard here. But Nate Gerrard has taken Oliver Bradstreet down 3 times out of 3 attempts, and that has never happened before. I've never seen Oliver Bradstreet be taken down in this show.
Yeah, both these guys so quick. They're doing a great job of back and forth, but we haven't seen anything big in any of the rounds.
Well, we've answered the question. The question everybody was asking each other leading up to this fight is who's the better wrestler? Oliver Bradstreet insisted that he was. Well, I think Nate Gerrard has shown that that's not the case. Nate Gerrard is clearly the better wrestler. Oliver Bradstreet has had a couple of submission attempts, but nothing substantial, nothing that even came close to winning. Oliver doing a good job of being menacing like he is and getting back to his feet, but Nate Gerrard just puts him right back down. The thing is here, you can't just control a guy's hips. This isn't a wrestling match. This is a fight. It's a mixed martial arts fight. You're going to have to do something aside from just controlling his hips on the ground, and that's what Nate seems to want to do. You've got to strike. You've got to come up. You got to do something different. Ollie's doing a nice job of pounding the side of the head of Nate Gerrard right there.
Gerrard is just relentless with the legs.
He is a takedown machine. Go. Yeah, that's for sure. Ollie realizes he's not going to win this fight by being on his back here in the third round. He's got to get up. He's got to get out. He's got to do something. Now he finds himself on top for the first time and really happy to pound away at Nate Gerrard's head. And Nate finally said, I've had enough of that. I'm going to take you back down again.
I think all he did is made him mad.
He made him mad, but, Ollie makes it so tough on you. He's still sitting on his haunches there where you don't really have him secured down on the ground. He's just making you work for it. But Nate Gerrard's got to do something here. I got to be honest. I've given this round to Oliver Bradstreet simply because Nate, he's gotten 2 or 3 takedowns in this round, but he hasn't done anything. He's just holding on to him. On the other hand, Ollie's been striking and trying to get out the entire time. He's getting frustrated, you can tell.
Yeah, for as many punches and kicks and knees as Bradstreet's been thrown, I mean, he's not gassed. That guy just goes the distance.
Yeah, he is the ever-ready bunny for sure, man. That's going to bring to a conclusion the fight. It looks like we're going to go to a judge's scorecard, and we don't see that a whole lot around here, but Ollie's frustrated. He knows he lost this fight, but, I think had this been a 5-rounder, it might have been a different story. Ollie just keeps going. He knows he didn't win this fight. He's raising his hands, but he knows he didn't. He's shaking his head. He knows he didn't win. There you go. Nate Gerrard getting the big victory, albeit a very tough victory to get, and probably sporting the Combat Cartel shirt right there. We're happy to have him as part of our team. All right, let's roll things through here. We got Kevin Jacobsen and Daniel Grass. Kevin, I gotta tell you, man, Kevin's a funny dude. He comes up from the southern part of the state, and last time he was up here, he got us in a little trouble. His hotel room smelled like marijuana, and the hotel called and yelled at us.
This is from the room next door.
Yeah, well, okay. I wish I'd have thought of that, man. At any rate, Daniel Grass, he's another guy that likes the doobie. Daniel Grass, it's his name. I mean, it's hard not to. But so we got a couple of potheads here mixing it up for this one, and Jacobsen getting a nice takedown to start things off. Maybe they're swapping brownie recipes under there. I'll tell you what, Jacobsen, he's not a bad-looking fighter, man. He's really got some good positioning. His wrestling is outstanding. Daniel Grass is one of those Gumby-type kids. He can bend in a million different directions, and he's hard to submit. But he's got pretty good hips and pretty good understanding where he needs to be. But this kid is just dominating him, Kevin Jacobsen. The last time we saw him fight, it was a very short fight, so we didn't really get a chance to see him. But I'm really impressed with what I've seen so far.
Both these guys are in really good shape, so it makes for a better fight. They're going to be able to go the distance if they have to, and it should be exciting the whole time.
Well, it's so far.
A lot of energy.
Yeah, so far there's been a lot of energy, but it looks like Jacobsen has got his hooks in. He's got Daniel Grass in a kind of tough spot. And I don't care how Gumby you are, your neck chokes just like the next guy. If he's able to sneak down and put a choke in here, Daniel Grass could be in trouble. Doing a good job of keeping those hooks in. Daniel Grass trying to get him out. It's just, again, one of those jockeying for position type situations. And he's doing a good job, Jacobsen, that is, of just kind of riding Daniel Grass out, kind of make him burn up some energy underneath there before he even really attempts a submission attempt. I really kind of like this strategy. Now he's trying to sneak that choke in on the left side there, but Daniel Grass doing a good job of keeping it off.
Yeah, and Jacobsen very comfortable, relaxed, looking to dig in that choke there.
Yeah, he sure is, and it looks like he might have gotten it in there. Daniel keeping his chin in just enough to not let him sneak that choke in, but that was close. Jacobsen seems comfortable coming out front here, too. He's got such good wrestling and mastery of hips that, coming out front here, he can kind of give Daniel Grass that little bit of space and not have to worry about him getting out from underneath because he's still got good control. So there's a guillotine attempt, missing it there. Jacobsen loses position. Daniel Grass coming up on top now. We got a great shot at the back of Dave Seisted's head. He's thinning out on top there a little bit. I always wondered what that corner man yells in there. He didn't speak English, but he's always yelling something. Daniel Castro there. I don't know what his fighters can ever understand him saying.
Well, at least they know he's there.
He's there. Yeah, I'm here for you. All right, looks like Jacobsen able to get back in top position just to finish the round off here. Clearly round number one going in his favor. Daniel Grass having a hard time getting him back up off the canvas. He's none the worse for wear, though. He'll be back for round number two. We hope you will be as well. Round two when we come back. Welcome back to the Ultimate Combat Experience. If you're just joining us, you missed a barn burner of a first round between Daniel Grass and Kevin Jacobsen. Jacobsen really did an outstanding job of wrestling, an outstanding job of controlling Daniel Grass down on the canvas and then maintaining hip control over him, and did some damage along the way, throwing some punches throughout. Nice head throw there. Once again, that's some pretty good wrestling stuff right there in an MMA match.
Grass is looking a little fatigued there and a little shaky on his legs.
Yeah, he did look a little shaky. He's trying to grab the head there and not really sure why, because what you're doing is you're giving your guy an opportunity at a twister. But rather than do that, Jacobsen just pulls his head out, finds himself in rear mount position, and boy, oh boy, he's letting the bombs rain down.
Well, this is starting to look like the first round.
Yeah, it's starting to look a lot like the first round, except Daniel Grass is much more tired this time, not able to cause quite so much action from underneath there. So it looks like we're kind of starting to settle into things. Kevin Jacobsen just needs to pound away, continue to pound away there, and eventually the referee's going to step in and say, yeah, we just don't want to watch a punching bag get punched.
And Jacobsen's doing a great job of controlling this fight.
Yeah, he is. He's not throwing anything unnecessary. He's punching where the opportunities are there. Daniel Grass has got to defend. If he's not intelligently defending is the term they use, then they're going to stop it. It looks like Dave Seisted decided it wasn't intelligent enough anymore. That was a nice little backflip. Look, the funny thing about those backflips, they sound like a great idea before the fight when you're all fresh. But sometimes when you're not so fresh, I've seen guys land on their head because they just can't quite get that thing around.
Yeah, what a great way to start off your victory, right? With a broken back.
Yeah. Well, Kevin Jacobsen able to stick the landing on that one, and congratulations on a big win. Let's move into the heavyweight division. Now, you want to talk about a corn-fed country boy. That's Trevor Collett right here. He's also a state champion wrestler, also from Vernal, up there at UNA High School. Everybody in this town loves Trevor Collett, going up against a guy that we've seen quite a bit of, and that's Aaron Sawyer. Aaron Sawyer's an iron worker. They say he's, he's the strongest guy I've grappled. He's super, super strong, but he runs out of gas. If he doesn't get it done in the first round, he's probably not going to get it done. One of the best fighters, fought some of the best guys in the business and had amazing first rounds, and just kind of peters out here. And that's really probably going to be even more of a factor with such a big guy as Trevor Collett. But Trevor wisely putting his body on Aaron Sawyer, making him bear his weight. He knows about Aaron Sawyer. He knows that. Oh, see, now Aaron's got an amazing right hand. He's got a real strong right hand. Trevor Collett able to walk right through it, though, and just put his body on Aaron Sawyer. And Aaron Sawyer, you can already see the tank going down to the south right now.
Yeah, these big guys usually don't go the distance, but it's fun to watch. Those big fists come flying in.
There's nothing better than watching heavyweights land big leather, that's for sure. And Trevor Collett with a couple of big shots of his own, and Aaron Sawyer coming back with a big right hand over the top. Nice knee by Trevor Collett, and Aaron Sawyer trying to answer with a knee of his own.
Collett is a big kid.
He's a big boy.
I think we're going to have to call him oversized corn-fed farm boy.
And you should see his wife. She's a real petite little, pretty little thing too, man. She's adorable. And they're just kind of a cute couple. He's a big, strong kid, and she's just a little sweet little thing. Right now he's making Aaron Sawyer feel like his wife. He's beating up on him against that cage there. Aaron not having a whole lot to return with. Nice uppercut there. Aaron's got a puncher's chance in any fight that he's in. Nice combo there. But I tell you, man.
Nice chin on Collett. Yeah, he held that one off.
He really does have a nice chin. And not only that, he doesn't back up. You hit him with a big shot like that, and he's still coming forward. It's got to scare the bejesus out of you.
Yeah, taking a punch like that from someone like Sawyer's really got to put it to you. You know, strong kid, iron workers, you know, throwing iron around.
All day long. He just, you know, and he does. He works hard, Aaron Sawyer does. But you're going up against a big kid that not only is he a big, strong kid, he's a pretty accurate puncher, too. Look at Trevor Collett. I mean, his punching, we know him for his wrestling ability, but he's landed shots, big shots on Aaron Sawyer. But it looks like both these guys are starting to suck a little pond water.
And it's nice to see these big guys, too, exchanging kicks and knees. You don't see a whole lot of that. It's not too pretty, but
yeah, it's not
effective.
Sexy. You're right, absolutely. And, but boy, I tell you, Aaron Sawyer's done. He's tired. I know Aaron. I've known Aaron for a lot of years, and we've been in trouble a time or two together. And I can tell he's done. Oh, nice. Well, I spoke too soon, man. Aaron coming out with a beautiful combination that actually did back Trevor Collett up. Nice work there by Aaron Sawyer to wrap the round up. All right, Collett going back to his corner. Looks like he's still ready to go. Aaron Sawyer dropped his mouthpiece out of his mouth. All right, round number 2. Let's see if these two heavyweights can get up off the stool. That's the step number 1. Looks like we're going to have a round number 2. Here we go. Nice leg kick to start the round by Aaron Sawyer. And he's both guys carrying their hands really low, especially as many times they've been cracked in their faces. Another nice leg kick by Aaron Sawyer. He is the destroyer. Another nice leg kick. Doing a good job of stepping offline when Trevor Collett came forward.
You know, they spent the first round on their feet like we figured they would. Both these guys punching it out.
Well, that's about to change.
Now they're locking it up.
You know what? That's a big boy to have on top of you.
Where do you go from here with someone that size on you? What are you going to do?
Say a Hail Mary. That's what I'd do. You know, Aaron knows what to do here, too. He's not even trying to get that underhook on the far side. That's what he should be doing. But I think Aaron has turned in his fight card for the day.
Well, he put all that weight down on the chest or face of Sawyer, and it's got to be uncomfortable trying to get air.
Oh, that was a big knee to the body. And, you know, it's a big guy to be throwing knees to your body. That'll take a lot out of you. Nice punches to the body. Aaron Sawyer not digging this one bit. He's tapping right there. Oh, he put the smother move on him. Put his hand over his mouth. Aaron couldn't breathe, and he started tapping. Now he's got energy. Throwing his mouthpiece.
Not too pleased. What a nice fight.
Trevor Collett, man. This kid's the real deal. He is no joke. Came out here, and Aaron Sawyer thought he was going to have a cakewalk with this kid. But I don't know how you think you're going to have a cakewalk with anybody that big. Trevor Collett getting it done. Very, very impressive. Oh, buddy, Greasy Biker, man. Those heavyweights can get in here and do it. And, look, Aaron Sawyer just ran out of gas. Bottom line, Trevor Collett is a big, strong, physical kid. He's a lot to deal with.
Well, when you're throwing fists that big and that hard, you're bound to get winded. Those guys are tough. Imagine getting hit by one of those.
Absolutely. Speaking of that, get hit by thegreasybiker.com. It's got an awesome motorcycle gear on there. And I just picked myself up a stencil artwork that you did. It was amazing.
Thank you. Hey, living's easy when you're keeping it greasy.
We're going to wrap it with that. It's the Ultimate Combat Experience. We'll see you next week.